Imagine if Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man leapt off the page, transforming into a building. That's the essence of Renaissance architecture: perfect proportions, balance, and a revival of ancient grace, all wrapped in the innovations of the 15th and 16th centuries. Just as the Vitruvian Man represented the blend of art and science, Renaissance architects combined the mathematical precision of classicism with the flair of modern design. This was not just architecture. It was a rebirth of antiquity's grandeur, clothed in the New Age's ingenuity. The architects of this era, like Filippo Brunelleschi, Battista Alberti, and Andrea Palladio, were not just builders. They were visionary artists. They turned bricks and mortar into a dialogue with history, each structure a statement of both reverence and forward thinking. In this exploration, we'll see how these masters of old would fare in today's architectural landscape. Would they be bewildered by our technology? Or would they teach us a thing or two about aesthetics? As we delve into the lives and legacies of these titans of architecture, prepare for a journey back in time, peppered with playful what-ifs and spirited comparisons. Filippo Brunelleschi, a goldsmith by training, took on one of the most audacious architectural challenges of his time: the dome of the Florence Cathedral. This wasn't just any dome. It was an octagonal juggernaut, uncharted in size and scope since antiquity. Brunelleschi's solution? A double-shell design, ingeniously self-supporting, which eliminated the need for traditional wooden frameworks. This feat not only transformed the skyline of Florence, but also the future of architectural engineering. His techniques, particularly his use of linear perspective, laid down principles that would echo through the corridors of time. The dome stands today not merely as a structure, but as a symbol of human ingenuity, overcoming the seemingly impossible. Brunelleschi's approach was a blend of observation, mathematical precision, and sheer audacity, showing that sometimes, to create the future, one must take a leap into the unknown. Now picture this scene: Brunelleschi in today's world, equipped with modern technology. Would he gaze upon our tools with bewilderment, or with the keen interest of a visionary ready to push even more boundaries? His pioneering spirit suggests that he might just school today's tech-savvy architects on the elegance of simplicity and the power of a clear, innovative vision. Battista Alberti, a polymath and a humanist, viewed architecture as a visual manifestation of the perfect proportions found in nature and human body, much like his predecessor Vitruvius. His treatise, De Re Edificatoria, was not merely a book about building. It was a codification of harmony and mathematical ratios applied to structures. Alberti believed that a building's beauty derives from its proportions, akin to a well-composed musical piece. His designs, such as the facade of Santa Maria Novella, showcase his mastery of classical elements tailored to a Renaissance audience. He was one of the first to employ the principles of ancient Roman architecture consciously to modern designs, which was revolutionary at the time. Alberti's work demonstrates that true innovation often involves a deep understanding of the past, not just new creations. Imagine Alberti in a modern architectural firm presenting his designs. There might be raised eyebrows as he sketches with a quill on parchment, but the underlying principles of his work could vastly improve the sustainability and beauty of modern structures. His insistence on proportion and harmony could be a refreshing antidote to the often chaotic architectural styles seen in contemporary cities. Andrea Palladio is revered as the symmetry sage of Renaissance architecture. His works were heavily influenced by the harmony and proportions of Greek and Roman temples, and his famous treatise, The 4 Books on Architecture, became a Bible for European builders. Palladio's villas in the Veneto region, characterized by their symmetrical layouts and grandiose porticos, reflect a timeless beauty that transcends the centuries. His architectural philosophy emphasized clarity, functionality, and beauty, principles that resonate deeply even in contemporary architecture. Palladio's influence can be seen in the neoclassical movements across Europe and America, where his ideas shaped everything from manor houses to state capitals. His designs demonstrate how adherence to classical aesthetics can result in spaces that are both functional and visually appealing. Were Palladio to visit today's world, He might marvel at the scale and capabilities of modern construction, yet find many of our buildings lacking the thoughtful proportions and attention to detail he championed. A hypothetical workshop between Palladio and a modern architect might revolve around integrating classical principles with sustainable building practices, creating spaces that are not only efficient, but also inherently beautiful. Let's indulge in a playful thought experiment. Filippo Brunelleschi versus a modern architectural maverick, say Zaha Hadid. On one side, the Renaissance man who defied structural norms with his massive dome. On the other, the queen of curves, whose buildings flow like rivers of concrete and steel. The showdown could be set in a theoretical arena where each presents a design for a new cultural center. Brunelleschi might argue for the integrity and enduring appeal of classical forms, emphasizing the dome's capacity to inspire awe and gather communities under a single unifying roof. He'd likely marvel at the software used by contemporary architects, but insist that true beauty lies in the proportions and durability of a design, not just in its novelty. Hadid, on the other hand, would champion the dynamic and fluid forms that modern materials allow, arguing that architecture must mirror the continuous evolution of society. She might admire Brunelleschi's innovative spirit, but push back against the constraints of traditional forms, suggesting that the future of architecture lies in its ability to adapt and morph as fluidly as the lives of the people it houses. Battista Alberti's principles of proportion and harmony find their echoes in the skyscrapers and urban landscapes of today, albeit with a modern twist. Architects like Norman Foster and Santiago Calatrava have drawn on similar classical themes but adapted them to meet the demands and materials of the 21st century. The dialogue between form and function remains as pertinent today as it was in Alberti's time. In the bustling streets of modern metropolises, Alberti's ideas could serve as a grounding force. Amid the steel and glass towers, the application of his theories could bring a sense of coherence and beauty that many contemporary designs lack. His emphasis on proportion could help solve the visual dissonance often found in modern urban environments. An imagined dialogue between Alberti and someone like Foster might center on how technology can enhance rather than detract from the humanistic aspects of architecture. They would likely debate the merits of integrating green spaces and public areas that serve both aesthetic and functional purposes, reflecting Alberti's belief in buildings that enhance human life and interaction. Section 7. Palladio's Lessons for the 21st Century Luminary. Andrea Palladio's teachings are more relevant today than ever, especially when we consider the environmental challenges of contemporary building. His emphasis on local materials and the natural environment can offer crucial lessons for sustainable architecture. Palladio's designs, which harmoniously blend with their surroundings, could inspire a new generation of eco-friendly designs. In the context of today's climate crisis, Palladio's approach could be seen as a precursor to the modern green building movement. His villas, designed to be both beautiful and functional, utilize the sun's orientation to maximize light and heat distribution, a practice akin to what we now call passive solar design. Pitting Palladio against a contemporary architect like Bjarke Ingels, known for his innovative and sustainable designs, would be a fascinating study in contrasts and similarities. Both architects focus on the environment, but their methods and materials differ sharply. This comparison could lead to exciting new architectural innovations that combine Palladio's classical insights with cutting-edge environmental technology. Section 8. Comparisons across centuries. The dialogue between Renaissance masters and modern architects isn't just a fun historical exercise. It offers valuable insights into how we build and why. By comparing the methodologies and philosophies of architects like Brunelleschi, Alberti, and Palladio with those of our contemporaries, we gain a deeper understanding of architecture as a living, evolving art form. This cross-century comparison highlights the timeless nature of certain architectural principles, such as proportion, symmetry, and the integration of a building into its environment. It also shows how these principles can be interpreted differently depending on the technological and cultural context. Through these imaginative showdowns and comparisons, we not only pay homage to the genius of Renaissance architects, but also learn how their ideas can inform and inspire modern architectural practices. It's a reminder that great architecture transcends time, continually adapting to meet new challenges and opportunities. Section 9. Renaissance Techniques in Modern Practice. Renaissance architecture has left a lasting legacy not just in the structures that still stand today, but in the techniques and principles that continue to influence modern building practices. The emphasis on proportion, balance, and harmony is evident in many high-profile contemporary projects. Furthermore, the Renaissance focus on integrating art and engineering remains relevant, inspiring modern architects to consider aesthetics and functionality as inseparable elements. Modern tools and materials have expanded the possibilities of what can be built, but the fundamental challenge remains the same: to create spaces that elevate the human experience. Techniques pioneered by Renaissance architects, such as the use of perspective in design planning, have evolved but are still fundamental to architectural education and practice today. These historical techniques are not just academic exercises, they are practical tools that, when applied thoughtfully, can lead to more sustainable, beautiful, and functional urban spaces. As we continue to build and grow our cities, the lessons from the Renaissance can help guide us towards more humane and enduring designs. Section 10. Conclusion: From Renaissance to Baroque Brilliance. As we wrap up our journey through the architectural marvels of the Renaissance, it's clear that the era was more than just a period. It was a pivotal moment that set the stage for future innovations in building and design. The architects of this time, with their bold ideas and groundbreaking techniques, laid down the foundational principles that continue to influence modern architecture. Looking ahead, our next adventure will delve into the Baroque period, where we'll explore how architecture took a dramatic turn towards ornate opulence and dynamic forms. The transition from the measured elegance of the Renaissance to the exuberant expressiveness of the Baroque reflects broader cultural shifts and advances in engineering and materials. So stay tuned as we continue to explore how historical architectural styles inform and inspire the buildings of today, proving that the dialogue between the past and the present is not just about preservation, but about ongoing innovation and reinvention. What lessons will the flamboyant Baroque era hold for contemporary creators? Join us next time to find out.